Hi, fourth grade, it's Mrs. Feathers. We're going to go over your grammar practice pages for the week. This week you are assigned pages 146 to 149. Your grammar quiz will be on Friday, and these are the last grammar practice pages and quizzes for the year. Your first page is page 146. We're looking at sentences using prepositions. The box at the top tells me that two or more simple sentences that have prepositional phrases can sometimes be combined into one sentence. Prepositional phrases show location, time, and direction. They provide more details. On this page, you're going to combine the sentences with prepositional phrases. Number 1 says, "We saw zebras at the zoo. The zoo was in the city." I'm going to combine that into one sentence. I notice that the zoo is repeated a little bit, or it's repeated twice. And so I'm going to take one of those away, and I'm going to add the prepositional phrase "in the city" from the second sentence to the end of the first. We saw zebras at the zoo in the city. Let's look at number 2 as well. Wally walked around the building. The building was on the hill. I'm going to take kind of the same approach to number 2 as I did for number 1. And I'm going to add the prepositional phrase "on the hill" from the second sentence to describe the building a little bit more. Describes the location of the building. You will finish this page with the same directions. Your next page is 147. We're looking at rules for using prepositional phrases. So two or more simple sentences that have prepositional phrases can sometimes be combined. Prepositional phrases show location, time, and direction. Again, they provide more detail. A prepositional phrase may be at the beginning, middle, or end of a sentence. And if the prepositional phrase begins the sentence, a comma is often inserted at the end of the phrase. On this page, we're going to read each sentence and add the prepositional phrase in parentheses. For part A, we're adding the prepositional phrase to the beginning of the sentence and rewriting it. Let's do number 1 together. It says, "We all went back to the classroom." In parentheses, after lunch is written, which is a prepositional phrase that I need to add to the beginning of the sentence. Again, when I'm adding a prepositional phrase to the beginning of a sentence, I add a comma after it. You will try number 2 on your own. For part B, I'm doing the same thing, except I'm adding the prepositional phrase at the end of the sentence. So it says, "I leaned tiredly," and then my prepositional phrase is "against the wall," the gym wall. You will do number 4 on your own. Your next page is page 148. On this page, we're looking at commas with phrases. The box at the top states that a prepositional phrase that begins a sentence is often followed by a comma. A prepositional phrase that appears in the middle of a sentence may be set off by commas. Appositives and appositive phrases are usually set off by commas. And when two adjectives modify a noun in the same way, there should be a comma between them. We are going to do a couple of these together, about half, and we are rewriting each sentence by correctly adding the commas. Number 1 says, "The tall, thin man walked quickly across the room." This one is an example that has two adjectives in a row that need a comma in between them. Tall and thin both describe the man, so I need a comma to separate them. Number 2 says, my pet lizard, a sneaky creature, escaped when I wasn't looking. This is an example with an appositive in it. I have the phrase, a sneaky creature, to describe my pet lizard a little bit further. So I need to add a comma before and after that appositive phrase. And number 3 says, in the morning, I like to have breakfast before getting dressed. This is an example of a prepositional phrase at the beginning of the sentence. The prepositional phrase is in the morning, so I need to add a comma afterwards. You will finish this page. You only have 3 more to do on your own. Your final page is page 149. As always, it's your proofreading page. You have 2 short paragraphs to look through, correcting mistakes in prepositional phrases and punctuation. Let's look at the first sentence in number 1 together. Hannah, my best friend, really went out of her way to help me today. My best friend is an appositive phrase, and I have a comma after. However, I'm missing the one before it. So when I retype, I need to add a comma after Hannah. To show where my appositive phrase starts and ends. You'll finish going through these 2 paragraphs on your own. Again, you're looking for prepositional phrases and punctuation mistakes. As always, make sure that you are looking back at your grammar comments to see if you're making any errors before taking your last grammar quiz on Friday. Have a great day, 4th grade. Bye.